Can I be a superhero? Can I be heroic but exhibit a superhero power? Or is that something just for comic books and movies? So actually, we're going to suggest that it's more real, it's more probable to be a real life superhero than not. And we're going to explain why. So today we're going to talk about hysterical strength. This is something that has been well documented. It's when a person exhibits some type of a superhero strength in order to overcome some life and death scenario. For instance, there was a story in 1962 where a mother was shown to be able to lift a car off of her child. Her child was trapped and she's able to lift a car. Hysterical strength, normally not possible. But when push comes to shove, life and death, it is possible. And so inspired by this story was Jack Kirby, this famed comic book artist, that he created a superhero from this real story. What superhero did he create? He created the Incredible Hulk. Who's the Incredible Hulk? He starts off as just a scientist, just like all of us, just someone with a profession. But when push comes to shove, this scientist becomes the Incredible Hulk. He becomes this big green monster, very strong person. And so is that something that we can be real? I mean, that's just a comic, right? So we're going to suggest, hold on. Let's look into this some more. So central is this idea of hysterical strength, of this superhuman strength in the world of comics, that you have the cover of Action Comics #1, right, where you see Superman lifting that green car, saving these people, and it's like, wow, that's a superhero. Now I see a superhero. But hold on, wait a minute. We just said that there was a mother that did this, and hysterical strength has been documented many, many times, like with real people, not like, characters in comic books. So then, is that really what I want to lead with Superman? This comic, Action Comics #1, people spend a lot of money for that comic. What are they spending money for? Is it for the superhero, or is it maybe it's giving them a little bit of hope that, hey, that's something that I can do when push comes to shove? And again, hopefully none of us are in that situation. But when push comes to shove, I want to feel like I could lift the car off in order to save someone. So we're going to explain the mystic aspect of this, according to the ancient Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. But we're going to bring another example. And classically, this is not called hysteric strength. It's definitely called hysteric, but in the framework of a mental illness. And this is the famous Anna O. Her real name was Bertha Pappenheim. She was made famous by Freud. Freud was not her therapist, but it's a whole big story. She did a lot of good in her life. She ran an orphanage in Germany and did many, many good deeds until the end of her life. But when she was younger, she had mental illness for many years. She had to work through, she had to talk through. She called it like a talking therapy. But she had a lot of hysteria. And this was well documented. She did have a lot of different hysteric episodes, and it manifested in different ways. And one of those ways was in language. And that's going to be very important for us to talk about. So she was fluent in German. German was her mother tongue. But she was also familiar with English, Italian, and French. And during these episodes, during these hysteric episodes, German was blocked. Sometimes she wasn't able to speak at all, And at other times she was able to speak fluently, but in one of these other languages, of English, Italian, or French. So this was very curious. And people, to this day, I don't think have a good explanation. So today we're going to explain, according to Kabbalah, why that is that her German language was blocked, and these other languages that she was familiar with but was not her mother tongue by any means, and she was not fluent in, she was knowledgeable of, but not fluent in, why she was able to speak those other languages fluently. Again, either English or Italian or German or French, but not German. So what is the deeper significance and meaning behind that? So let's turn to Kabbalah. And we're going to look to the divine channel called the Sphira of Bina. This is a mother principle in Kabbalah, a female principle in Kabbalah, a feminine principle in Kabbalah. Again, it doesn't mean like gender. So both men and women need to incorporate this aspect, this feminine aspect in their lives, this aspect of Bina, or understanding, or comprehension. So what is this mother principle? So this mother principle always, first of all, relates to language. That's why you say mother tongue. Because it's relating to this mother principle in Kabbalah of Bina, of understanding. Right? Why do people say mother tongue? This is the deeper inner reason. This is the secret behind why people say mother tongue. So the fact that Bertha's mother tongue was blocked and these other languages came out, she started speaking either English or Italian or French. This is all related to the mother principle in Kabbalah of Bina, or understanding. And also when you think of like a mama bear protecting her young, right? Like this mother in 1962 lifting the car off her child. So that's, again, there's something hysteric, but also like a superpower with mothers. That when push comes to shove, life and death, to protect her child, she'll do it all. Even beyond what is normally considered her capabilities, or beyond human capabilities. So this is something very special. If we look also to the word hysterical, hysteric. So the great Kabbalist Rabbi Abraham Abulafia said that all languages can be traced back to the holy tongue of Hebrew, to the holy language of Hebrew, Lashon HaKodesh, the holy tongue. And even if academically it would be difficult or impossible to trace it back, still we can have fun with it. We can play a word game. And have fun playing word games of what word does this sound like in Hebrew? So what word does hysteric sound like in Hebrew? Hysteric. So it sounds like the word Hester, which means hidden or secret. Also, like Queen Esther, her name also is related to this word Hester, like secret. Queen Esther is the hero, along with Mordecai, in the story of Purim, the Jewish holiday and the story of Purim that took place during the Persian Empire. So what is so concealed about Esther? She's very modest. And also God is concealed during that whole story. For years, people just thought these were just normal events until the end. The miracles were revealed and people rejoiced. There was great, great rejoicing. And to this day, we celebrate it every year on the holiday of Purim. So the first lesson about the process of becoming a real life superhero is to acknowledge, to be modest and acknowledge that all the talents and abilities that I am gifted with, they're gifts from God. They're for us to make use of, for sure. We're here in this world to fulfill a purpose, a mission, but they're gifts. So a normal person sees like the normal affairs of this world. When does a person not see the normal affairs of this world? That's sometimes when you're hysteric. A hysteric person is not thinking about, oh, people normally can only lift this amount. No, a hysteric, like especially like this example in 1962 of this mother and child, is I just need to lift this car. They're not thinking about how much can I normally lift on a regular day. No matter how much the car weighs, I'm going to lift this car. So again, if we would only in our lives realize that this is a level that God is saying that we can attain, but not through, in this generation, it's not through life and death. We can skip to the end of the story. And what's the end of the Purim story? Is that it's through joy, through rejoicing in the miracles that are all around us, the wonders of creation, and the wonders of the talents and abilities, the superhuman talents and abilities that God has given us. So it says, again, back to Kabbalah, we said a couple things about this divine channel, this sphere of Bina, of understanding. First, it's a feminine principle. It's a mother principle. It relates to language, it's like a mother tongue. So we talked about Bertha, switching from her mother tongue to other languages. It's like a lesson in hysterics, rooted in this Kabbalah, this divine channel of Bina, of understanding. But how do we break free from these the normal affairs of this world, to become super, to become heroic, to see ourselves as real life, to see the real life superhero potential within ourselves? So it says that this divine channel of understanding of the mother principle, it says that Im habanim smecha, that the mother of children is joyous. The mother of children rejoices. So you're talking about the mother, the mama bear, who's protecting her young. And she's doing it because she's not, she doesn't care what the world says you can lift. She's going to lift that car. So too, we can learn also that it's through joy. This is like Queen Esther. She's able to accomplish great feats of turning the entire story around. I encourage you to read the story. The whole book is named after her, the Book of Esther, or the Scroll of Esther. To turn the whole story around, but it's through modesty, that's her name, Esther, hiddenness, secret, being secretive, being humble, acknowledging that all our talents and abilities, it's all a gift from God, to be thankful for that, but also to have great rejoicing that God is giving us this ability, this gift, in order to fulfill our potential. We just have to do away with that self-doubt. The self-doubt is like the villain of that story of Purim, Amalek or Haman. The arch-villain of the story is self-doubt. So it's so too, if we think that superheroes is just, that's just comic books and movies, that's just self-doubt. Really, to believe in God, to believe that we're given these abilities, these wondrous super abilities, and the whole world is super, we just need but to reveal it. So that comes through a clarified faith, a clear trust in God, and rejoicing. It also says that joy, that simcha, joy paretz geter, it breaks through boundaries. What's the limitations? What's the boundaries? Those are self-imposed. right? It's like what I can lift is what everyone tells me I can lift. It's not what I can do is what everyone tells me I can do. That's why we have superheroes to begin with. That's why it was relegated to the world of fiction. But we need to bring it back. We need to redeem it and realize that superheroes like the Incredible Hulk, they come from real stories. Like that mother in 1962. This is a real story. And this is something that is real and practical and something that each one of us, can emulate and act upon in our lives. So again, hysterical strength. What's hysterical strength? It's a couple things. But ultimately, it's to serve God with joy. Because when you serve God with joy, there's only clear skies, clear sailing, a clear path ahead.